Okay, here we are. This is lesson 2 of how to draw a Gurney Eagle. And as you can see, we made some progress on it. I started working on the shadows underneath the car. And I did the right front tire and wheel. And the reason I wanted to do that is because it's a little bit different color than the left side is. So I thought I'd get that one done and then work toward the other one and see how that goes. But in the meantime, I'm going to work on the front end of the car. And because this is an eagle, it has an eagle's nose on it. It has kind of a beak that overhangs the lower edge, which makes it very distinctive. So I took some time to do that to make sure it was okay. And the area inside that is completely in shadow. So that's one of the darkest parts in the car, and that's why I worked on it too. The front end of the car is really unusual because it has very light elements and dark elements right next to one another. So it's going to make a good contrast, and I think it's really going to look great by the time we get done with it. And there are a lot of mechanical bits on the car too that are going to stand out very well once we get to that point. Okay, there we are. That's the inside of the air intake area where the radiator is. And like I say, you can see that it's very heavily in shadow. There's no ambient light reaching it, of course. And here we are working on an ACA duct that's on the side. And I have to make this kind of dark because there's an STP sticker in there, and the STP stickers are red. So I have to make this dark enough that the red done very lightly will show up against it. So again, we're just working the darks against the lights in order to make an interesting drawing and to make the things that are supposed to be light, and the things that are supposed to be dark. So this is always the game you play when you're working with black and white. I don't have paint colors. All I can do is make different tonal values, and that's the only thing that makes things look one way or the other. So I have to be very careful with what I'm doing here because it would be real easy to go over the top and miss completely with one of those color values. And there are ways you can use an ink eraser and you can kind of mellow out too dark a color, but you can't really get rid of it. So once you put it down, if it's a whole area, then you're pretty well committed to it. So if I actually had gone ahead and made it too dark, then I'd have to darken up other things in order to compensate for it, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm trying to do this car the way it should be first time around. And once you start working on this part of it, this is the critical area, the first bit of it. When you're starting to put the darkness down, you want to make sure that you do it correctly. But after that, then everything's going to kind of fall together, and then right at the end, we'll take the last lesson and we'll maybe let the car sit for a day and then think about it and see, compare it to the photograph and all that, and make sure that it is actually the way we want it to be. But I don't intend to make this look exactly like the photograph that I'm using as the basis for this. What I really want to do is make it mine, but I want to make it fairly faithful to the photograph too. I'd like to make it look like the way I want it to look like, and I think it's going to be a very nice car when it gets done. And I'm a big fan of Dan Gurney anyway. I have lunch with him once in a while, and he's really a great guy, and he can tell stories about racing that you just can't believe and curl your hair, some of the stuff that he's done. And he's just a good guy, just an all-around good guy. In fact, he was actually, I think he still probably does, but he was building motorcycles once, and they were planning on using a Harley-Davidson engine instead of a Honda engine. So he and I traded motorcycles. I had a Harley at the time, and I said if he wanted to try a Harley engine and see what it was like with the rubber mounts, what it would be like in his bike, then he took my bike and went up the Coast Highway, and then I took his bike and went up the Coast Highway in Southern California, and it was really just so much fun. I wish to heck I'd had my camera with me in and the foresight to go ahead and do that. I didn't, unfortunately. Okay, we're nearly done. I hope to see you back here tomorrow. We're going to make a whole bunch more progress. Hopefully we'll get back almost to the passenger compartment. I hope to see you then. Thank you very much. Bye.